Hey guys, are you going to be able to handle seeing stocks go down more? What if they went down 10% more, 20% more? Most people will be like, screw this and throw in the towel. That's the truth of the matter, guys. And it's not until we're actually going through it that people realize I'm getting out of the way, right? At some point, they can't take it anymore and people sell. But like I said, that's why 5% probably of traders or investors out there can get through the dark times, because no one wants to see their money continually go down, right? And everyone knows the sentiment is horrible right now. And it could feel like this for a while, guys, okay? And that's where people, like I said, eventually throw in the towel. They're like, nope, we're never going to come out of this. You know, Trump's not going to change what he's doing. But then something happens where it does change, guys. And Trump, maybe he'll get back on track down the road. Like I said, I think America will benefit later, but it's going to take time. Like I said, no sweet without the sour, right? There's going to be short-term pain for long-term gain. I do believe that. And it just makes sense. There's so much uncertainty with what Biden had going smoothly. And now think about with these tariffs, with the supply chain being messed up, right? And then Trump saying he is going to do tariffs. He's not going to do tariffs. He's going to give relief. He's going to delay it, right? All this nonsense right now. So it makes sense. No, everyone wants to just get away from the market. But trust me, people will come back. But you never know how long this will take. And I could see, a lot of like Democrats, for example, are like they're pulling money out probably because they don't trust what Trump's doing either, okay? And so many reasons why, the stocks and the bears are in control. As soon as short sellers, they're having their moment and they're going to keep, their pedal to the metal, so to speak, making their money and bringing this down, 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 guys. Remember I said this a long time ago, many videos where I said what goes up fast can also come down fast. And we are seeing that right now. And the changes taking place with Trump reversing everything Biden did, okay? So it's either the best thing you can do, honestly, guys, if you're a long-term investor like me, 5+ years, there's no need to even look at the news or anything right now. If you're going to scalp trade like I'm doing in my short-term account, then that makes sense, okay? Otherwise, just give this, a few months to maybe get some clarity, right? Because things can definitely get uglier before they get better. So I want to make sure you know that. There's nothing wrong with staying in cash if you can't handle it, or being in a dividend stock like Annaly getting 12%. That's why I let you guys know about that one. So you can guarantee that income. And you guys know I have a lot of my money in there. And I'm still, you guys know, buying in the Millionaire Maker portfolio, adding slowly. That's the key. Remember the videos I put out saying if you want to put in 1,000, instead of putting in, say, 200 at a time, you can do 100 at a time or $50 at a time. Just keep it small, because likely you'll get some dip buying opportunities continuously here until there's, like I said, clarity, which it doesn't seem like that's happening anytime soon. And we may get oversold bounces, but they'll be met by sellers most likely, bringing it right back down. There's not going to be any momentum for a bit. So just keep that in mind, guys, okay? And like I said, if you need this money anytime in the next 6 months to a year, right, I would just have that cash available, right? Have your emergency fund. Have cash on the sidelines, of course, always if things go lower. And have that long-term mindset, because then you can get excited when you get big dips. And even if you can't see it now, like I said, it's hard to see through the darkness. One day we will climb out of this, okay? And then, like I said, scalp trading, I'm doing that only when we get oversold status. Like I said yesterday, I bought a little bit going into, market open today. And as soon as I saw it pop, I got out of the way and I let you guys know. Trim, raise stop limit, not messing around. It's a sell and ask questions later. If you have profit, you don't even have to trim and raise your stop loss if you don't want right now. You can just get out of the way, okay, and move on, to when they come back down again. And again, everyone's going to be bearish, say, oh, it's never going to come back. And then one day it will gain momentum. But this is where you can wait for markets to, overcome a couple resistance levels to see some upward momentum again. But of course, if you do that, then you could be missing a good part of the move, and maybe it rolls over again, right? That's why I personally like to buy closer to support, like yesterday, for example, and even today. These are great prices right now. And we still haven't got that big oversold bounce, even though we started the day up and then we faded again. There's no momentum, like we've been talking about, and it might take a while before we get back to that, okay? So that's why just take your money quickly with scalping, guys. Don't mess around. Have tight stop losses. You can still play in this environment. Just keep the position sizes small. And like I said, you have the tight stop loss, so no worries, minimal loss, right? If it goes the other way on you quickly, which we're seeing that a lot today, okay? So, but anyways, keep the long-term mindset, guys. Like I said, it's hard to do. Most people cannot make it. It's the truth, because think about if next week stocks keep falling, how people's mindset, the psychological, people are going to give up. I can't take this anymore, right? That's the emotion. That's the feeling we get. it's hard, right? Week after week. That's why I was saying, putting out videos before that a lot of these traders have not seen, a red week, right? We've had such a good bull market the last 2 years. There hasn't been, where it's been red for an entire week, let alone 2 weeks, right? Or you have to handle a month of red, a quarter of red, right? Like recessions, corrections, everything. So I just don't think a lot of people have experienced it. It can get a lot worse, okay? But hope for the best, plan for the worst, always protect your capital, right? The stop losses, I've been harping on that forever, guys, to avoid losing too much on the downside. And like I said, right now, if you're scalp trading, just get in, get out. Don't get greedy. Don't think, oh, I'm going to make all, I'm going to let it ride, right? Because that's where it can come down so quickly and you can lose that profit, okay? So either sell some immediately when you get that first rip, raise your stop loss, or just get out of the way altogether. Nothing wrong with that. And move on, to another oversold stock, or where there's fresh positive news. That's where you can get that nice lift right away. Like Broadcom, for example, AVGO had their earnings where they beat and raised and it got rewarded where it popped nicely. It's still going to be a sell the rip environment, most likely. We saw, yesterday, for example, in after hours went up to 207 or maybe a little higher than that, and then pulled back to 180 something. And then I bought a bunch there and then played it back up to the low 190s, got out. Okay, so that's kind of what you have to do. I wait until I don't buy after it's ripped, guys, in this market. If you're seeing a lot of green and you're feeling FOMO, do not give in to that, guys. I will only buy when I see some blood, some heavy selling, okay, pressure. And then once I see the volume subside a little bit, and it's maybe by a support level, towards the low of the day, that's when I like to take my shots, because then I can set my stop loss right below the low of the day. So we're talking a very minimal loss if my stop loss triggers. And if it does catch and goes higher, then I'll play it back up until I see, a big red bar come in, right, with selling volume, and then I'll just get out of the way. Like I said, it depends on the stock, but usually I'll trim 20%, raise my stop loss a penny above my break even, so no matter what, I get a win, okay? If it's a really high risk stock, then I'll likely just get out. If it's a higher quality name, I might let it go a little longer, okay? So that's why it depends. But anyways, just wanted to point that out, guys. That's what I'm doing. Scalp trading, getting in, getting out quick, or I'm looking 5+ years and not sweating where the stock price is right now, because it's just a moment in time. It doesn't matter if you're not going to sell till 2030 and beyond. So remember that, guys. And that's why we can get excited if things go lower, even though it sucks buying lower. We know that. It's not a great feeling. But that's where you keep adding a little more at a time, dollar cost averaging. One day we will come out of this, and then your portfolio is going to be looking much better than it was before.